Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Section 305, the sports show. I'm here with my colleagues, Anthony Aguirre and Nick Dupont, who basically has the goal picture of 2025-2026 NBA regular season with Adebayo surpassing Kobe Bryant as the second most points scored in a regular season game. How's it going, everyone? How's it going, everyone? I mean, Anthony, like always, basically being an anti-Floridian right now and having all that hype with the Charlotte teams after that big 30-point win they did against us, Miami Heat. We're going to be biased. We're going to agree to that. And Hornets actually been a dangerous team in the East for the past few months and actually the hottest team in that conference, which – this season, we can see them. We can see them entering the playoffs, making more noise next year.
Well, right now for hot team, I'll say it's Atlanta. 10 games straight is crazy, but
true,
hey, man,
true.
Charlotte, dude. But listen, man, Charlotte is showing that they are legit. I've been saying this, man. Come on,
calm down.
Come on, man. You see,
bro, I literally just finished my take saying that they could be a playoff team. They're definitely going to be in the play-in. If they finish between the 9th and 10th, and they lose that only game in the play-in, they're out, Anthony. So
that's okay. They'll get another pick. We'll see what they do with that. But they're ready for next year, man.
What I'm trying to say that
Kobe White. Come on, we up.
Calm down. How about we calm down with the Hornets and let's give some praise to the Clippers, who've really turned around their season. Actually, I think that team is playing fantastic.
First team in NBA history to start off 15 games below 500, 6-21. Guys, since that team has jumped from being like one of the worst to right now being the 8th spot, breathing on the Phoenix Suns.
It all started when they got rid of Chris Paul. Poor Chris Paul.
There'll be a first-round exit regardless.
And since the Harden trade, Kawhi Leonard has been balling crazy.
He's playing like a top 5 player right now in the league. How can you not love it?
Healthy superstar. And Darius Garland has actually done a good job. If he stays healthy, he can help out Kawhi Leonard in scoring, what I'm trying to say. And Benedict,
I'm not high on him.
Benedict Mathurin was also a good acquisition by them. You know what I'm saying? They traded a lot to acquire him from Indiana with the Ivica Zubac and the future first rounders and a couple of selections. So, I mean, those are the teams that we can talk about in the nearest future. Who are the teams that basically turn it around, like the Hornets and the Clippers. And the Hawks, they started well. Then they started a roller coaster ride. They made all those trades. And, guys, I like McCollum right now in that team. I like Jonathan Kuminga, like Dyson Danos, who's been there for now his second season. Nickel Alexander-Walker has gone crazy. He scored 44 points a couple of days. So that's going to be a topic we're going to leave it for another day. Guys, we got so many amazing headlines, which we're going to start with the World Baseball Classic. Before we start with the question, I got to say, disappointing that Team USA wore the hockey jerseys to not win it. For me, that was a disrespect to the hockey team.
I forgot about that.
That was a disrespect. And guys, second time we see a superstar coming in with an American flag to the field. One of them torn his Achilles in his debut, and the other one went 0 for 4 on home plate. And those guys have the same name, called Aaron. One is called Aaron Rodgers when he played with the Jets, and the other one is called Aaron Judge, representing Team USA as a captain. I think we're going to have to stop that. Stop letting superstars go in the field with the United States of America flag, because literally both Aarons, one of them, it was out of his hand. He got injured, but it was sad because people were already expecting big things from the New York Jets, finally in decades, generations. Even though they won that game with Zach Wilson. But then we've got who is in my team, who for the second time has disappointed in big moments like he did in the World Series, having below 200 in batting average, and now going 0 for 4 when they needed him the most, the captain.
The judge has not been in session, Raul. I don't know what to tell you. He has not been in session, dude. That mallet that he's using is not working, bro.
Literally one of the most disappointing things I've ever seen. But that's not the question. So let's go with the first topic. We're gonna start out with you, Nick. Venezuela secures its first ever World Baseball Classic title after a 3-2 win over Team USA. What went wrong with America?
I mean, I feel like it's kind of simple. The offense was completely shut down the majority of the game. You know, the U.S. only had 3 hits the entire game. They didn't score until the 8th inning because of Bryce Harper, and Eduardo Rodriguez just dominated them. Like, I hadn't seen pitching like that in a minute, but he dominated that team. Venezuela's pitching controlled the pace from start to finish. I honestly think that's what it was. I mean, mind you, from coming from a guy who didn't even have the U.S. making it to the final this year, I had the DR making it over the U.S. And
yeah, me too.
And I still can't believe they called that ball. They called that strike. That was a complete ball. But the U.S., in my opinion, was just they should not have even been in there. I'm sorry. From the moment they lost to Italy and they entered this tournament, they came in with a swagger, like they were already clinched, like they were going to win the whole thing. I knew from the moment they stepped on the field that hitting and that pitching was not going to last for them because all these teams like Venezuela, Puerto Rico. I know Puerto Rico didn't make it very far.
Whoa. Puerto Rico actually did not have that talent as like the 2017 team, 2023 team.
No, I get it.
Remember, because of contract situations with their respective teams, Carlos Correa, Francisco Lindor, Javier Baez, Kike Hernandez, none of them could have played for Puerto Rico.
But there's still an expectation. But there's still an expectation for that team to perform every time they enter this tournament. And for me, I had that expectation.
I put over 5 teams, above them.
I did not like the U.S. going into this tournament. I honestly thought the DR should have swept them. I thought Venezuela played an amazing game. Again, it was just mostly the pitching that they could not control. I mean, the game was tied 2-2 in the 9th. U.S. allowed a walk on Luis Arauz, a stolen base, and then an RBI double. So, like, what can you do? You know, like, there's nothing you can do. But I thought, I'm just going to say it, they were just not built for the moment. They really were not built for the moment. That's my take.
Anthony?
I mean, it's kind of like you mentioned when introducing the topic. I mean, Aaron Judge was ghost. 0 for 4. I mean, you are the captain. And you're supposed to shine brighter in these big moments. You clearly haven't. World Series, and now this. Bryce Harper nearly pulled it off, with the miraculous comeback with that home run.
Mm-hmm.
He's awesome. He's awesome.
Yeah, no, it was an awesome moment, but then it was short-lived because Venezuela responded literally right after. Disappointing. But also just the pitching staff, I mean, you just throw Nolan McLean in there. He was not ready for this moment. He wasn't supposed to be pitching in this kind of setting. He was not, but things got out of hand for Team USA. But I mean, regardless, I think this should fall on the captain of the team, and he clearly did not even show up one bit. Struck out 3 times, so I'm just so disappointed in Aaron Judge and. I'm not trying to have this hit on the Yankees, Raul, but I think there should be questions about whether or not he can lead your franchise to getting over the hump of those big moments because he's shied already now in 2 big settings.
Mm-hmm.
And so now, okay, can this be the guy? We know Aaron is a great power hitter. He's got all the talent in the world, MVPs. He's got it all, but he's got to show it in the bigger moments. So I think if you're the Yankees, you have to ask yourself, okay, we know he can get you through the regular season, but can he get us through the big dance? There's no telling just yet.
I understand all your takes, and they're all valid. But before I mention what went wrong for America, I agree with you. I mean, Judge has been so disappointing, but also like Kyle Schwarber, 0 for 3. He's the one that they struck out to end the matchup.
Mm-hmm.
Like, these were basically the best batters for the team. And I feel bad for Bryce Harper because, man, this guy has made it to the biggest stage and he has performed, but his team has let him down. Like, another superstar that is having literally bad luck in the finals to at least win his first chip in the MLB, to win gold with Team USA. And guys, basically Team USA did what Puerto Rico we saw last decade. Puerto Rico in the 2013 lost to Dominican Republic 3-0. They lost 2017, 4 years later, to Team USA 8-0. This has been 2 straight finals that USA lose with the same score, 3-2. 3-2 against Japan and 3-2 against Venezuela. And in this case, Venezuela, I'm not going to say they were sleepers. And this is why I'm going to mention what went wrong for America. It was Team Venezuela. I had 3 going to the finals. That was Japan, Dominican Republic. Those were the teams that I expected to see. And if it was not Dominican Republic and USA would have won over them just like they did, it would have been USA and Japan back-to-back.
Mm-hmm.
And Venezuela knocked down the champs. And when I saw that, I'm like, oof, these guys are going for it. They're going for it. And we've got to understand that when you're comparing teams, like who's got the better pitching, we can say Team USA, we can see Japan. In batting, it was Dominican Republic. Guys, Dominican Republic and Dominican Republic, they disappointed. They literally disappointed. I had them winning it all. At least making it to the finals. Look at this stat. 51
That was the best team I've ever seen.
50. I agree with you completely. You have Juan Soto, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., you have Julio Rodriguez, you got Fernando Tatis Jr., Manny Machado. Guys, those are 5 of the at least top 20 paid players in the MLB. And you got at least like 3, and one of them is the highest, which is Juan Soto. Like, that batting was on fire in 40 innings, because remember, they had 2 knockouts. There were 2 games that they ended in the 7th inning because of that World Baseball Classic rule. They had 51 runs. 51 runs in 40 innings, and then they faced Team USA and had only 1 run in 9 innings. Anybody can talk about that controversial play. It should have been ball. Perfect. Okay, I get it, but we really, one play gonna basically define that's why Dominican Republic lost. Come on, man. Come on, man. Only 1 run in 9 innings. We're going to define that play. The reason why Dominican Republic lost to Team USA. Get out of here. Paul Skeens was doing his job. And, guys, I know he wasn't going to be the starter for this game, but they should have utilized him at least a couple of innings. Paul Skeens could have done damage with this team. I felt like the rotation was, like, not accurate of what USA could, especially in the last moments against Venezuela. Venezuela, most people talked about that they had a better batting lineup than a bullpen. And it was the pitchers who literally delivered against Italy, against Vinny Pasquantino, who connected 3 home runs in the first round. The first player to ever do that in World Baseball Classic. They had Jack Caglianone. They had John Birdie. They had a couple of MLB, let's just say, veterans and star players. And they held them to 2 runs. And then when you held Team USA to 3 hits, who's the one who said it? You, Anthony, Nick? I forgot. It was you, Nick, at the beginning of the take. They only allowed 3 hits. That's the lowest in World Baseball Classic final history. Out of all the teams, guys, USA made history in that remark, in that way, only connecting 3 hits with that type of lineup that they have, especially Aaron Judge and Kyle Schwarber were stroking out 3 times. 3 times. I mean, with Kyle Schwarber, it's like, okay, we'll give you a pass. We'll give you a pass. And you had the best season of your career with the Phillies last year, and you've had an amazing career as well. Aaron Judge, regular season guy, but when postseason comes, chokes. World Series, even worse. He had the worst batting average by a superstar in MLB World Series history. And now he has the worst in World Baseball Classic. We can talk about them choking this and that just to finish with my take. But, guys, we got to give it to Venezuela with the way that they started off the game and how they executed with their with their closers, like Daniel Palencia. He had good games throughout the tournament. Also, Machado. He's the one that actually allowed that home run against Bryce Harper, but they still gave him the win because he's had like a decent, basically, average. And, of course, we got to talk about the talent that they have just to wrap it off. Guys, Michael Garcia, he won a World Series with the Rangers a couple of years ago.
He was the MVP, no? He was the MVP for the.
No,
for
it was
tournament,
Adolis Garcia.
Ah.
It was Adolis.
No, I thought it was Macau. I thought it was Macau Garcia.
No, Adolis Garcia was the one that won with the Rangers the MVP.
Okay.
They got Eugenio Suarez, which basically was the hero for that team. They got Luis Arraez. Anthony, who is the guy that has won, not this year's, but before it, prior to it, the last 3 batting average? Luis Arraez. Luis Arraez with 3 different teams. 3 different teams. Marlins is one of them. And at the same time, they got the guy who won the MVP before he tore his ACL for the second time. Won a championship with the Braves by not playing, but if he was playing, like, it was a World Series that they could have actually had a little bit more offensive explosiveness, and that is Ronald Acuna Jr. They also have the catcher from the Royals, Salvador Perez. Bro, they are stacked. But then when you expect them to have a more explosive offense than the bullpen, it was the pitchers who wore the capes and became the unexpected heroes for that country, allowing 4 runs against 2 of the best offensive teams in this tournament, named Italy, USA. They had to go neck to neck against Japan with a score of 8-6. It was inevitable. Pitchers could have done anything that was in their hands. It was their offense that delivered. But then the final moments against Italy, when people started getting worried because they started down 0-2. But then afterwards,
we gotta move on a bit.
They did their job. The pitchers did their job. Why are you always cutting me? Why is it always me, the one that you have to cut? Like, sometimes you say, okay, we don't have time. Sometimes you say we have time. Like, why is it always me when I'm trying to, like, deliver a take, and then I give you guys the last word? Go ahead, Anthony. Anthony, go ahead. Anthony, go ahead. Go ahead, Anthony. Go ahead. All right, that's my take. Venezuela. What went wrong for America? Venezuela. That's it. All right. Well, you know, Nick,
I laid down each minute for us on how long we do our topics.
But then there's times that you want to expand, like last episode that we did, and I actually wanted to finish early.
We had 4 topics last episode, Raul. We had 4 topics.
All right, Anthony. You're the boss here, apparently. Go ahead, Nick.
All right. It's all right. Well, I mean, yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. U.S. couldn't keep up with Venezuela's pitching, and I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. You know, the U.S. they can't do what they're doing towards the end of these games. They need to stay consistent throughout the entire game if they're going to want them to win. They can't just rely on a Bryce Harper home run and be like, oh, here we go, momentum in the 8th inning. No, it's not going to work like that for them. They need to stay consistent throughout the entire game. I'm sorry for Yankees fans because you have to deal with Aaron Judge now for the fact that he lost to a World Series and a WBC, but it's unfortunate. It really is. Maybe the Yankees look to move on from him at some point if he can't win anything with,
I don't think
the Yankees in the future. I doubt they will. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe.
He's still the face. He's making them too much money. He's a 3-time MVP. That's not going to happen. He just basically is a guy that we can't rely right now on leading the team to a World Series title. It's going to have to be his surroundings, basically.
True.
His surroundings are the ones. So the Yankees are going to have to continue making big moves in order, especially with their pitchers coming back next season, like Garrett Cole. Like, they should have a better bullpen and more healthier, especially the players that they're paying, like Max Fried, who also, like, with that salary that he's making, the Yankees are still going to be like contenders or are going to be in the mix. But yeah, we got to see to believe Aaron Judge in the full playoff format, because
it can't just be regular season. Regular season is not the only thing in these sports.
Can't be regular season. You have a last take, Anthony?
No, I got nothing to add. My bad. I'm trying to get something organized, but nothing more to add.
All right. So before we go to our next topic, sorry, Nick, you got something to say to the public?
Oh, I do. And guys, there's some big news here in Miami, and guess what just dropped the Dolphin Mall? No, it's not another sneaker release. Just saying that out there because I know everyone's going for the Foot Locker, for the new LeBrons or whatever. No, it's not a sneaker release. Metropol Restaurant is officially open, and it's about to be your new go-to spot. We're talking crispy, juicy fried pork that hits every time, fall off the bone ribs, stuffed chicken packed with flavor, authentic congri rice, croquetas that you will order twice. I guarantee you will order twice because they're delicious. Whether you're pulling up after shopping, linking with friends, or just craving real Caribbean flavor, this is the spot. Pull up to Dolphin Mall and see what the hype is about. Warning, you will leave full. Metropol just entered the chat, and Miami, they are not playing. Thank you, Metropol, for sponsoring.
Thank you, Metropol. Woo! And what a better way to start the weekend watching it there, March Madness.
Oh,
all right, guys.
That's right now.
That's happening right now, but in our last topic, we're not going to be talking about the games that are right now live. We're going to give our Final Four takes, and then next week, basically, whatever surprises we see, that's going to be one of our headlines. All right, guys, we're going to switch it up from baseball to NFL. NFL offseason continues to ramp up. Players can officially sign new contracts with their respective teams or move to another destination. They also have that option, like we've seen a couple of them recently do it. All right, since Nick had the first take, Anthony, I'm going to give it to you. Who's had the best free agency so far?
It's funny because you claimed this team last year, but I think I'm going to have to claim them now. Honestly, now that your Pats are back, I'm going to go with the New York Giants. Honestly, they have not done the flashiest of moves, but I like what they've done so far, especially getting Isaiah Likely. I think now he's a full-time starter on this team. He's going to shine brighter with the Giants. I like that they're going to get Malik Neighbors back. I like that they'll get Scadaboo back. I think they need to still add more young talent in this draft, especially on the defensive side, because this is a defensive class. Yeah. But I like what they've done so far. I like, again, getting John Harbaugh in this organization. So, sorry, I'm still very nosy, guys. I'm still recovering. But
you're good. You're good. Okay, Bam's satisfied with your pick, too. He's happy with your pick.
But I like what they've done so far. I think they're going to really upgrade their offense. Jackson Dart is going to have more weapons around him. They still need to add more protection for him on that offensive line. I just think they need to, again, add more depth there. But I like where they're going. And listen, I gave my take. I said it. I'm going to stand on it. They're going to win the division. I'm standing on it. That's all I got to say.
I mean, I wouldn't go that far, but
I already said it, so I'm gonna stand on it. So I have to stand on it.
They're gonna have a much better season, and a season like when I talked about the Patriots, I told everybody like they should be a playoff team or they should be battling for a spot. That's how we see the Giants. Now, if they go ballistic like the Patriots did, that's another scenario which I don't believe is going to happen. But I see them like going through a good direction. Especially one thing that you forget to mention, Anthony. I like your pick. Isaiah Likely is returning to his recent head coach from the Ravens. Yeah, John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh is doing those big moves. I mean, right now with the Giants, who doesn't want to sign with that coach? Who doesn't trust that coach? Even though, we'll be having our debates of he hasn't taken them to the Super Bowl since they won their last one, the beginning of last decade. Understandable. Yeah. There are certain situations that he's taken the fall and the blame for the Ravens falling short. But I feel like this is a new bright start for John Harbaugh and the Giants. And definitely this decade, they're going to go back to being contenders because that's now going to be a destination where people are going to want to join.
Also, you look at the division, we don't yet know exactly what's going to happen with Daniels in Washington just yet. We got to wait and see how that goes. The Eagles have lost some key players in this free agency. Yeah. And then the Cowboys.
A lot.
And then the Cowboys are the Cowboys. We never have faith in them.
I don't even know why you mentioned them. So looking at
the format of this division, the window is open. I'm not saying it's guaranteed, but the window is open for the Giants to get this division.
Especially Jaden Daniels if he comes back 100% healthy for next season.
If he's competitive, then it makes it harder for sure. But I'm just saying we don't know yet because that broken arm looked nasty.
Also, the running back Austin Eckler, we got to see how he comes back for next season. Then, there's injury basically questions that we have with the Washington Commanders, even though we expect them to be competing. I don't even know what you mentioned. America's team. You got me.
It makes the case stronger.
I
for the
understand it.
Giants to have that window. I'm just saying.
And then Philadelphia's issue is that they've lost so many players, including Jalen Phillips, Kobe Dean, two great players from the defensive side. And from the offensive side, is A.J. Brown going to stay? They just signed Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown, which is a good pickup. But what does this mean for two of their wide receivers, Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown? They're going to have all those three there? Like, I feel
listen, they have a really good front office. I expect them to be active in the draft. But as of right now, it's not looking too good. And this could be a perfect shot for the Giants.
All right. That was actually a good pick. Nick?
Raul, you want to take this one or you want me to go?
All right.
I don't mind taking it.
No, because I want to do my last predictions for March Madness. You take it, Nick.
Okay. Well, I'm going to do something a little unethical, just like the way people are saying about this man's game. But, it wasn't unethical, I will say. I'm going to pick two teams.
All right.
Production, if you can you pull up the first picture for me? The first team I want to talk about is the Tennessee Titans. I thought the Tennessee Titans did an amazing job in free agency this offseason. They got Wan'Dale Robinson, John Franklin Myers, Cordell Flott, Alontae Taylor, Daniel Bellinger, just some big names out there to throw around. Those are huge names to build up the offense alone already. I really like the way I love the direction that this team is heading towards, especially Robert Saleh being the main guy steering the wheel right now. And then you got Brian Dable, who's an offensive-minded coach, being your offensive coordinator with Cam Ward. And all
Brian Dable as offensive coordinator is going to be good for that.
It's exciting, and I like Alontae Taylor a lot and Cordell Flott. I think they're going to be amazing for the cornerback group, especially since they lost L'Jarius Sneed. I think they're going to be fantastic together in the back, just guarding everything. I really think the Tennessee Titans have a very good shot next year of doing something. Maybe not playoff push, but they are going to make some noise. And then there's one other team, though.
In that same division with the Colts, Texans, and Jaguars.
Oh, listen, man. I think people are going to be surprised. I think people are going to be very surprised. I think they're going to be surprised, man. I don't know. I'm not very high on Jaguars right now. I like the push that Jacksonville's making. They just lost ETN. They lost a couple other guys. I really like where the Tennessee Titans are moving right now. Anthony, I love the direction that they're in. I love their culture.
Anthony, would you say that this division is the same as the South Division in the NFC?
As the South Division?
I wouldn't say that. I would say there's a lot more competitive in the South.
The South. Oh my gosh, that's honestly, it's just a dumpster fire.
Well, come on, man. This is the same division as the other one that actually surprised, because I had this division as the same as the NFC being the worst. All of a sudden, you see Daniel Jones balling with the Indianapolis Colts, Jonathan Taylor returning back to his superstar form. Then we saw the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Houston Texans. Basically, they were battling for that first position. And then the Texans, that they had to make a comeback. Now, I actually would put Houston and Jacksonville over Tennessee. And then maybe Tennessee and Indianapolis Colts, depending. They just re-signed Daniel Jones, depending on how he comes back next season and how the team looks like, basically trying to recover from their basically drop off in the second half. I can see them, basically being neck to neck with Tennessee Titans. But then we got the north side. We got the north side. We got the east side, and then we got the west side. It's hard for me to see Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, let's pump
the brakes, because I didn't say that they were going to make a playoff push. I said they were going to make some noise. I didn't say they were going to make a playoff push this year. But the one team that you did mention, if production could pull up my next picture that I have this on the screen, the Houston Texans. Wow, what an offseason they've had so far! Just incredible. The fact that they were able to retain Danielle Hunter alone just to start it off, you get Ed Ingram back, Kaimi Fairbairn, and Dalton Schultz. You got four guys already that have shown that they can compete in their system. And then not only that, what's the first thing they do? They go out and get a new safety to add with Jalen Petrie and the rest of their safety group. Oh my God, I'm forgetting the other guy's name, but I'm obsessed with him. But you got Reed Blankenship right now on there. Then you get offensive linemen, Braden Smith, Evan Brown, and you get Wyatt Teller. You're stacking the offensive line for the quarter for CJ Stroud right now. The team is looking very nice. I think this is going to be a playoff team for next year. And you also traded for David Montgomery, so now you have another running back in the room. Guys, the Texans, last year they looked really good, but this year I I really want to stand on this offensive line because this is a very good team, especially since they just moved on from Laramie Tunsil last season and they just brought in Evan Brown. Now you get Wyatt Teller, Braden Smith, and Evan Brown to just boost up the line. But like, come on, guys. How can we not talk about the Houston Texans? This team is going to be so good next year. Yes, sir.
How confident are you in CJ's production?
I mean, listen, I think he's going to have a way better season than this past year because I do believe in sophomore slumps. I do believe that quarterbacks go through their sophomore slumps. I think he's going to have another step up this year. I think it's going to be more of like a Trevor Lawrence jump where, yeah, he'll make some mistakes. He'll definitely have some turnovers, but his production is going to be fantastic. I think he's going to thrive in this system. And mind you, he's been doing well in the system. Yeah, last year was a down year, whatever. But I think he's going to do very well, especially when you're boosting up the offensive line and you're 100% committing to this guy and they're showing it right now. How can you not love this team? I mean, I have them over the Titans for free agency, but I just want to talk about the Titans too because they've made a lot of great moves. But
interesting.
Texans,
two teams in the same division.
Oh, I know. That's not like me either. I could have just said, "Oh, let's go Dolphins." Yeah, rebuild time. No, dude.
He picked the team that ended second in their division and the team that ended fourth in the division. So at the same time, last question, Nick. So you're saying that Titans are gonna make more noise? You picked them over the Texans.
Well, no, I have
the best free agency so far. I mean,
no, I have the Texans over the Titans, but I do have the Titans being better than Jacksonville next year.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
The Titans being better than Jacksonville?
I think they could be better than Jacksonville, and I think they can be better than the Colts.
All right, so I was actually trying to, defend the way that you started off this segment because, like I said, it says who had the best free agency so far, not who's the best team. And so what I'm trying to say is that when you started out with the Titans, will you think that they had the better free agency than Houston, even though they're not going to finish better than Houston?
No, but they had an incredible offseason. Just all the signings that they've made, an incredible offseason for them. Considering where they're at right now.
So why did you start with Houston then?
Because that would be too much. Houston's the better team that did a better job. Right, I gotta ease into it. They're in the same division. I gotta ease into it.
All right. So you guys are gonna laugh. You guys are gonna laugh about this, possibly, maybe.
New York Jets.
I have two teams actually, but I'm gonna start off with the one that I feel like right now has been the winner. Why? Because they just fired their coach. They're about to draft a quarterback that's supposed to be the face of that franchise. You guys already know who I'm talking about. The biggest winners have been the Las Vegas Raiders.
I knew you would pick them.
Guys, by signing the center Tyler Linderbaum, this is exactly what Mendoza needs for his rookie season, not to be one of those disappointing because he doesn't have protection or he doesn't have pieces around him. He's in a bad system. He's in a bad organization. When we were doing production, Anthony was mentioning about he doesn't know, and I agree with him, why certain teams are literally not developing either future prospect quarterbacks well, or why right now, what was the right word, Anthony? They're giving up on them. They're giving up on them.
That's a good way to put it, yes.
They're giving up on him, and Anthony threw out a lot of names there. And then we've seen some of those quarterbacks basically reinvent themselves in a better system and a better organization. There are others that apparently, they've disappointed, especially when they have been traded to another situation or they signed to they join another scenario, another destination. But Sam Darnold basically just proved us that he can carry a team to a Super Bowl and win it. We saw Mac Jones with the 49ers with all those pieces, especially having Kyle Shanahan as his head coach. Like, it depends in where you're going to be drafted. And if the organization has basically that reputation of being mediocre, not only for years, for decades. And there's some of them that have 0 Super Bowl titles. There's others that have had it, but we haven't seen it in over more than 3-4 decades. And I feel like this team, even though I'm not saying that they're going to make big noise this season, I feel like they can now get officially officially, because they were rebuilding last year. Now they're going to rebuild with a new quarterback could be the face of the franchise, and he needs all the protection he needs. Tyler Linderbaum is a good acquisition. Jalen Naylor, a wide receiver, and a fullback named Connor Hayward. And then last but not least, that defense. Just to end this segment.
No, I have a question. I have a question, Raul. With obviously Mendoza is your quarterback, and all these new additions that I do like, by the way. Where do you see them in their division? Because people still have the Chiefs up there. You're looking at
I have them dead last. I have them dead last.
Okay, now, but do you think? But you see improvement winning wise?
I mean, I see them having at least 4 more wins than last season, and that is actually
I like that.
And that's actually, how do you say, a head start. Because, like I said, this team literally needs to make all those moves in order to, in the nearest future, start competing with the Broncos, which I see them as the favorite in the division again. The Chargers and the Chiefs are going to be second and third spot. We're going to see the outcome of Justin Fields with that team. And basically, it's his moment to reinvent himself. Because now he's in one of the best, if not the best organization this decade. Now he doesn't got an excuse. But just to finish with the Raiders and go to my second team.
We have a question about the Raiders when you finish up.
Yeah, real quick. They also got good pieces in the defensive side. Quay Walker, Nakobe Dean from the Philadelphia Eagles, Kwity Paye, Taron Johnson. But guys, like this team is now little by little investing all that money in order to little by little, especially in the hardest conference and division of that conference, start to make a process of becoming a dangerous team in the nearest future. Like I said, the question says, who's the best team so far? No, who's had the best free agency? And this one of the teams that needed that. You have a question for me before I quickly...
You kind of answered it for me already. I mean, I was going to ask you, what do you think the defense is going to be like for next season? Since considering you got guys like Kobe Dean,
and Max Crosby is back, back.
Exactly. So
if they don't trade him, because he says, "Oh, I'm back. I'm glad I'm back to be a Raider." Oh, so you're after they traded your ass, and you know that you were joining a contending team, a team that was one of the topics that me and Anthony talked about. One of the latest episode, like Max Crosby going back to Raiders, if he actually still wants to stay there, making all that money,
I think he did.
I mean, the team is gonna look better and better. Now, the real question, just to go quickly with my last topic, I'm gonna do in 1 minute because it's basically easy timing for the other team that I picked. We gotta also see Clint Kubiak, first time being head coach. He's replacing Pete Carroll. So that's basically the question mark that I have about that team in what direction that going with the new pieces that they have in the offense and defensive side. Now, you guys are probably going to be surprised. I'm going with Nick in the same division. I'm going with the Chiefs, guys. Kansas City Chiefs. Kenneth Walker, Super Bowl MVP. Come on. That was a big move to replace Isaiah Pacheco. And like we just said, Anthony, Justin Fields, this is his time to shine, time to reinvent himself like other quarterbacks have done in a better system. And this has been one of, if not the best organization since the ending of last decade and this decade. And they still got one more thing, the most important. Who is the guy that we were seeing? Is he retiring? Is he not retiring? Just like we were doing with the LeBron James situation. He is back. And if Travis Kelce decided to come back because he knows that the Chiefs have unfinished business, and when Patrick Mahomes comes back fully healthy with Rashid Weiss and Xavier Worthy and other pieces that they have around, and with Andy Reid, the Chiefs are probably going to silence all those critics that have said, is the dynasty over? Hell no, it's not over.
Let me ask you this real quick, Raul, because I asked before the Knicks. I want to get like your take on this.
Right.
If Justin Fields balls out, like I actually think he will, I mentioned before our show.
Sure.
Is there a scenario where you keep Justin on the field and let Patrick maybe sit this one out in for a whole season?
Yo, Ben, what you hear this?
I would,
Ben,
Patrick,
Ben, we talking to you.
I feel bad, but if Justin Fields is balling, but then Patrick is clear to play, you still gotta have the best quarterback in the league coming back. Like right now, like I mean, look at this scenario, Anthony.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, all right, this is not gonna be relevant. I'm sorry. I was gonna compare the Carson Wentz with the Nick Foles situation, but at the end of the day, that's what teams have to have. They have to have their starting quarterback. The guy was gonna win MVP before he got injured, and the Eagles were actually one of the favorites to win it all. And when Nick Foles came in, that's when their percentage dropped. But then Nick Foles balled out with all those talented players around him, especially Jason Kelsey being his main protector and give him time to throw the ball. Like, I know it's a different scenario and not similar. I was trying to go through that way, but at the end of the day, like, this team's like give Justin Fields an opportunity, but then have a quarterback that they're expecting to come back once they are healthy and they recover from injury. Like, at the end of the day, Andy Reid is not gonna sit Patrick Mahomes unless he is not fully healthy throughout the season, and doctors recommend that he sits out. That's the only scenario. If not, if he's clear to play, you gotta go with Mahomes.
I get you, but Raul, I did mention before, and you should know this considering you are a Pats fan. Tom Brady was a backup. He took the starting job and never gave it back. Now, I'm not saying Justin's gonna go in that arc, but maybe for one season. I'm saying for one. Okay. I have lost the show. Everybody.
That was too much.
Okay. You didn't think that bad about it. You did not react that way when I told you about it in the car. So,
Anthony, this is the biggest, like, impactful take we've had in all Section 305 sports show, because I think I mean, if they put this take in Sports Center or other platforms, you're gonna be famous. There's no such thing as bad publicity. There's never been such thing as bad publicity, and this one can take over.
We're not gonna go there.
This one can take over the nation for a week and maybe before the season. So congratulations.
I'm just saying, honestly, because Patrick has come from a very serious injury. If Justin Fields is having, like, let's say, like a top 5 quarterback season, I would consider leaving him. I would consider him keep him playing. I would consider it.
If Patrick Mahomes is not clear to play, I agree. But if he's clear, you got to go with Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah,
excuse my language.
I will give credit because this is not a situation where Pat is like a new guy. No, it's the same team.
I know. I understand that. It's the same thing that I try to do with the. I mean, you do twist it around to maybe a similar situation. I mean, they're confusing right now because I try to go with Carson Wentz when he was a starter with Nick Foles. You try to go with the Tom Brady replacing Drew Bledsoe. We've seen the Aaron Rodgers afterwards taking over Brett Favre, and you know what I'm saying, similar scenarios in the future. But it's just that. If Patrick Mahomes was in his last years, yeah, you can make an argument like that, especially depending on his playing. But right now, Patrick Mahomes, estoy en mi peak.
Let's. I'm holding it in right now. I'm not trying not to have a heart attack. Especially after
is my take worse than the Jets take that had you kicked out of the room that last time?
Bro, this is pretty damn close. I'd rather have the Jets take than this. Wow. I mean, Kyler Murray. Okay, first off, if Patrick Mahomes is healthy, you sit that motherfucker Justin Fields. Excuse my language, but you sit him down, regardless of a top 5 season or whatever. You sit him down. That is Patrick Mahomes you are talking about. Are you kidding me? Are we having this conversation?
And I feel Anthony.
We're talking about a guy who throws 62% for his career.
All right, Anthony. I'll give you a good example, Anthony. I just thought about it.
Go ahead.
We just saw it this season. Brock Purdy gets injured. Mac Jones balls out. But when Brock Purdy was coming back, what did Kyle Shanahan did? He brought Brock
Of
Purdy
course.
back and sent Mac Jones. Similar situation. I feel like, all right, so what I'm trying to say, I feel like those quarterbacks like Mac Jones and Justin Fields needed to be in a good organization to basically, how do you say, have those right coaches, really develop them. And maybe now, with some of that experience, they can go to another destination and possibly become the face of the franchise to whoever teams need a starting quarterback. I think that's what he needs. He needs to reinvent himself. But similar as Mac Jones, once Brock Purdy came back, Kyle Shanahan said, good job, Mac. You hold it down for us. Now we need the guy that brought us to the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. Andy Reid's going to say, we're going to bring that quarterback that has won us 3 Super Bowls.
I agree with I do agree with you, but it's just the injury significance is very different between Holmes and Purdy. That's why I see it a little bit different, like very differently. And this is just my opinion.
Didn't they face each other 2 Super Bowls ago?
They did. But here's my thing.
3 Super Bowls.
If Justin is having the hot hand, respectfully,
calm down,
I'm
Nick.
I'm riding the hot hand.
All right, Nick, you want to finish up?
Yes, I got a couple things I want to say. Anthony, I love you very much. Look at me right now. I love you very much, but absolutely not. No, just no. Unless Patrick Mahomes somehow just disappears off the face of the planet. No, you did not play Justin Fields. I am sorry. And here's
how Nick did the take like Leonardo DiCaprio in Wolf of Wall Street. Was anything this illegal? Absolutely. You know what? Not.
But here's my thing. Raul, I understand where you come from with the Chiefs. You said you have them bottom of the division for this upcoming season?
I said Raiders.
Oh, so where do you have the Chiefs right now in this division?
Battling for the second spot with the Chargers.
So that's where I would disagree with you entirely.
I got Denver number 1 again.
So I agree. I agree that the Chiefs made some nice moves. I don't know if I'd place them as one of the top tier teams to make moves. Yes, you got the Super Bowl MVP and Kenneth Walker, but that's only so much. You lost all your starting corners basically, and you replaced them with Miami Dolphin, Kader Kohu. And as a Dolphin fan, watching Kader Kohu play, he's okay. Like he's had big moments, but bro, it's. Come on, man! You lost all your corners to the Rams. That team is going to be third in that division. I'm sorry, McDaniel with that offense that he has for the Chargers, they're going to overtake them. I think the Broncos are getting even better now with Jalen Waddle. I just do not see Kansas City's offense, especially with Justin Fields. I feel like season competing and the defense.
I still see Steve Spagnuolo doing a good job as a defensive coordinator. So we've seen
Kader Kohu is the one.
Bro, but you gotta understand that at the same time, when the Chiefs through this decade have had injuries in the offensive side, Eric Bieniemy made the adjustments necessary, and when you got a head coach like Andy Reid, they know how to resolve certain situations when it's going against them. They find ways to win. You gotta believe in.
I completely understand where you come from. I completely understand where you come from, and I'm trying to process it as hard as I can. But after watching a Miami Dolphins team where literally our starting corner was Kader Kohu for the entire season, our number 1 corner, you cannot win. You cannot win games like this. I'm sorry. The defense is so bad when it comes to the secondary for that team. You cannot compete. Yes, the linebackers are good. The trenches are going to be good. The offensive line, very questionable still. But those corners are not.
All right, so last take.
And you lost Trent McDuffie.
All right, last take. Yeah, that was a big blow. And don't say I lost. They're not my team.
No, I'm just saying for the
team. All right, last take. All right, so we've seen the beginning of this decade, offense carried the defense from the Chiefs. Recent years has been the defense carrying the offense. And now with Eric Bieniemy being back as an offensive coordinator, with all those pieces that Justin Fields has around them, I feel like now they're going to have to rely too much again, starting this second half of the decade, back to the offense.
I mean, yeah, that's what's going to have to happen. But then you're relying on, no offense, Anthony, Justin Fields, who's, let's just say, Justin Fields got benched when he had 6 touchdowns and 0 interceptions because Anthony, he could not complete a damn pass.
He's got to throw him under the bus because what the take that you said about Patrick Mahomes.
Listen. I welcome it. Listen. I'm gonna be the only one. I'm gonna be the only person on this mountain for sure. But in my honest opinion, I'm just saying if Justin Fields is having one of the best seasons for a quarterback, I'm going to respectfully let him have the job until he proves otherwise that he doesn't deserve it. I'm just saying. I know we're talking about Patrick Mahomes, but I don't know. I just feel like, okay, if Fields is doing really great and leads to winning, why not keep it going?
You gotta edit this clip because it's going viral.
Across walk around. I need to walk
America.
around.
We're going to hoops.
All right, so
okay, wait, Raul, you have a message, buddy? You have a message?
Yeah. And I need to concentrate on this, but guys, we already know that March Madness has started. We're gonna basically give analysis next week once we see whatever transpires this weekend. But what a better way to start off the weekend watching it at the Metropol Restaurant, which has officially opened its doors in Miami. If you guys are craving delicious Puerto Rican or Cuban food, you have to visit Metropol Restaurant at the Dolphin Mall immediately. They offer the best fried pork, ribs, stuffed chicken, congri rice, croquettes, and much, much more. I'm going to say it again. Metropol Restaurant located at Dolphin Mall. You can watch first and second round of March Madness in the best Puerto Rican and Cuban cuisine restaurant, not only in the Dolphin Mall, not only in South Florida, in the whole state. And thank you, Metropol, for being our sponsors. All right, guys, let's go to our last.
Best spot to watch Justin Fields throw touchdowns.
Oh wow, it's about really at a young age. He's about to have a heart attack. I mean, we still need him in the show. I mean, I know you and me have done over an hour type of episodes, which is amazing because we get into it. But damn, bro, we still need this third colleague.
Hours of Justin Fields tape. We were watching 20 hours of Justin Fields tape.
Since we're going to best.
Real quick, Nick is gonna have me in the room and go John Gruden on why Justin Fields is gonna like.
I'm gonna walk across the hall and strangle a random person in one of the offices for no reason, and they're gonna be like, "Why are you doing this?" Because of Justin Fields.
Bro, once you drive back here, he's gonna be waiting for you at your house. Literally.
Oh, I'm already outside.
Literally.
My car, actually.
All right, guys. Let's go to hoops. We're going to collegiate level. But before that, I just want to remind everybody that a week from last Tuesday, this man made history with 83 points, surpassing Kobe Bryant as the second best scorer in NBA regular season game. Congratulations, man, Adebayo. We keep celebrating you. Even though it's been a week. Thank you for making history for the Miami Heat. Now we got to see that in the playoffs. All right, let's go to our last topic. We're going with hoops, but collegiate level. Guys, is it not the best time of the year? The best tournament in the whole nation. It's March Madness. It's finally here. You know what?
I'm more of an NIT type of guy.
Moving on. The NCAA Tournament bracket is officially set after Sunday's selection, and it has begun. Like I said, our topic is going to be for next week. What we're going to do is our predictions. What's your final four? Who wants to go first? You guys want me to go first? I'll go first. I'll go first.
Go ahead.
I'll go first.
We know where your loyalties lie.
I'll go first, so you guys don't have to time me. I'm gonna do it as quick as possible, and then you guys can steal the rest of the show. So I'm actually a cheater. I did two brackets, different outcomes. I did two.
Like five. You're good. I've done like five.
All right. Hey, minimum 3, maximum 5. Let's keep it that way. Let's do it that way.
ESPN Fantasy, I'm filling out all 25. That's all I'm saying. I'm filling out all 25.
I still gotta do from the female side, but I already know my final four from head. I got South Carolina, I got UConn, UCLA, and Texas. Those are my final four for women's college basketball. But I still gotta fill out the bracket. Let's go to the men's. All right, so this is my first bracket. Obviously, we're not going to go through all of it. We're just going to go through the final four. But I only had one switch from both of them. So I got in the final four, and then I'm going to mention who I got in the national championship. I got number 3 Michigan State against Florida in the final four. Number 1 Arizona against number 1 Michigan. I got Arizona and Michigan State going to the Natty. Why? Guys, when is Tom Izzo gonna take this team to the promised land? Michigan State has always been in that conversation of being a threat, of being contenders, making all the way to Elite 8, Final 4, to the Natty. Bro, he's got to get them over the hump. And I feel like this season, it's not an easy path, but I think he can do it. And then I got Arizona winning it all. All right, for my next one, my second one, so I did a twist. I did an interesting twist. So I stick with the Final 4. I stayed with the same Final 4. But then I got Florida going back to the Natty against Arizona. And who is winning it all? I'm still sticking with Arizona.
Nice build-up.
I'm still sticking with Arizona. They're the most complete team.
I love the build-up there.
But Florida has been the hottest team in the second half. They went on a 17-game winning streak. Yes, I know they lost in the quarterfinals of their conference, but I still believe like they got the talents with Thomas Hoff, Alex Condon, and they got a decent point guard that he can distribute. At the same time, run the fast pace. They're the number 1 rebounding team. Arizona's one of the most complete team. Michigan got defenders all around. And then you got Michigan State that I feel like Tom Izzo, minimum Final 4. He's got to take them over the hump, guys. We've been talking about that team over and over again. That's my take.
Nick, you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it away. I'll take it away. Let me start off with my boys. All right, and the reason why I say they're my boys is because I used to play with these guys when I was younger in basketball. Give me the Boozers, man. Shout out to the Boozers, bro. Let me get Duke in that Final 4, bro.
Caleb Foster is out. Their point guard, their main point guard is out. Who's going to give him the ball? They're going to have to rely on them too much.
Give me Caden Boozer. Caden Boozer's going to be reliable. That's who I believe in right now. Give me the Boozers, bro. Give me the Boozers and Duke. That's who I love. You know, every year you watch Duke, yes, it's the same story with them. They choke in the biggest moments. But, bro, they got elite talent, depth, NBA-level shot creators. And, dude, they're usually one of the safest picks every year, I'm not going to lie, when it comes to the bracket. But, dude, like, how can you not go against Duke? Like, how can you go against Duke? Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm very hyped up with this team. I love Cam Boozer. Shout out to Cam, bro. But for my next team, let me go with Solo Ball. And I don't know if you guys know about Solo Ball, but give me the Huskies, bro. Give me the Huskies, man. I think the Huskies are going to be a very big shocker, you know? Dude, they have tournament DNA. Every single time you see the Huskies in here, they're always competitive and they're always competing, bro, at their highest level. They're playing fantastic. They got great coaching, experience, and size.
Yeah.
Like, how can you not?
Dan Hurley is one of, if not the best head coach in the nation right now, in my opinion. Dan Hurley.
It's a great team. It's a fantastic team. And for my next pick, give me Arizona, man.
So those are the two that are facing UConn and Duke.
Oh, those are two of them. Those are two of my Final 4. Hold on. I'm gonna tell you.
I mentioned you who are the teams that are facing each other in the Final 4. So how am I gonna know?
Oh, I'm just saying my Final 4. You guys can dissect it from there and out. I'm just saying my Final 4. For my next team, give me Arizona, bro. I like Arizona a lot. I'm you know, it is a bold pick, I will say, but dude, they have a high-powered offense. They can blow teams out. Yep. And if they get hot, bro, it's that final. If they get hot in this tournament, their Final 4 ceiling is going to be incredible. I'm not going to lie. They could win this tournament. I don't have them winning it, though. For my next team, they'll give me Houston, man. I think the Houston Wildcats, if I'm not mistaken. I'm sorry.
Isn't that a team that Florida beat the national
It did. But, dude, they have the best defensive team in the country. How can you go wrong against this team? Like, yes, they played the tournament. The tournament games are slow, and that favors them heavily, especially with the way they play defense. And, dude, like, their guard play is incredible. But for the overall winner, man, give me UConn over Houston. I'm going to say it. Give me UConn. I think UConn's going to have a really good – I think they're going to have a really good chance this year. I think they're the biggest sleeper team in this entire bracket that nobody knows about. Or maybe they do. They just don't want to admit it because everyone's like, oh, I want Duke, I want North Carolina still. Screw that, man. Give me UConn.
All right, me next. I only got one bracket, so I don't know about you guys.
Sorry, I came in with like a freaking.
Come on, Anthony. That's boring.
Nah, I'm going with one. I'm gonna stick with it. So for the first one, I got Duke. I think it's pretty obvious they have arguably the best players in the nation, and they've been balling out all year. Now
Do
they
you think
almost.
do you think Caleb Foster being out that's a big blow for them?
I think they'll overcome it. I think the
And I think they have another player injured that he's not gonna be at least in the first 2 rounds, if I'm not mistaken.
They do. I mean, yeah, they are down point guards, but I think when you have a talent like Cam, I think you can overcome almost anything in the first couple rounds. So I have them surpassing.
I agree. John Shire is a real good successor. He's been a good successor for Coach K. So like, if good coaches know to make adjustments, facing
Duke, I got Houston. I think they're poised for another run. I think they really want to try to redeem for unfinished business.
You said, what? I'm sorry. Remember? You say it again. My bad.
Houston. I got Houston facing Duke.
Okay. Yeah. It's just that I was looking, and Patrick Ngongba, the center of Duke, is probably going to be out for the first 2 rounds. So you got your starting center and point guard out for the first 2 rounds. Oof.
True, but yeah, first 2 rounds, I think you can not cakewalk, but you can kind of you can survive. Because in the ACC championship tournament, if they could survive against a Florida State team that was hot in the second half, I think they can survive some good competition as well. Okay. And then on the other side of the bracket, I got Arizona. Like we mentioned here before, they're one of the most complete teams in the nation, arguably one of the best. So they're going to probably dominate almost their whole way. And this one, I think, is kind of a sleeper. Mainly because I've seen the Hurricanes deal with them twice in the ACC, and they've been a very hot offense, and they can lock down on defense when they decide to. Virginia, I think Virginia.
I like that pick a lot.
They actually lead in blocks this season. They lead in blocks. That's one of the.
They have really good size. They got sharp ass depth, which has killed the Hurricanes in their 2 matchups. I mean, they were that team that is like a pest and is so annoying. So I think Virginia's honestly a bit of a sleeper in this tournament. And they got some good shooters off their bench, and it's annoying to deal with. So I think Virginia gets this, but I think that the national championship, it goes between 2 ACCs, Duke and Virginia, and I have Duke winning it all.
Duke, Virginia, Duke winning it all.
I like it.
I got Duke winning it all. Wow. I got Duke winning it all, man.
Anthony, don't be boring. Create another bracket.
I know.
25 of them for free on ESPN Fantasy. No sponsor.
I do have the Hurricanes. I do have the Hurricanes in the Sweet 16.
You what?
Yeah, I do.
Well, I got them in the Sweet 16. Before we wrap this segment up, let me see where I put the Canes, because I had the Canes at least passing the first round. But if I'm not mistaken, the Canes.
Listen, Missouri's not that big of a threat.
Wait. You had them real quick. All right, Missouri, bro, they go on against Purdue next round when they beat Missouri.
I think they can do. Listen.
And if they, let's just say, miraculously beat Purdue, they go Gonzaga afterwards.
That's where I see.
That's where. All right, you put them in the 16. I got you. All right.
Because here's my thing. I've covered that team all season.
True.
I know the players, like what the style they want to play.
True.
And here's my thing. They've shown to compete with some of the best teams in the nation. Granted, they never faced Duke, but they did face Virginia, and it was a close game once. The other time was a blowout. But if they can keep up with some of the best teams in the nation and just execute better down the stretch, they need to improve in that area. I think they can pull through with 2 upsets. Missouri's never the upset, but at least an upset against Purdue.
Shout out to Jay Lucas. What a turnaround. One of the best turnarounds I feel in program history. I feel.
Guys, I know our show's over. But do you mind if I do a little shout out? I got a little shout out. You guys are not going to know who I'm talking about at all for this. But what is my last name? You guys know my last name.
Dupont.
What is it? Dupont. I got to shout out a fellow Dupont. No relation. No relation. But I got to shout out 16-year-old Landon Dupont, bro.
Okay.
Landon Dupont. If you guys are not familiar with this kid, look him up.
Help me out.
Look him up.
Give me at least one detail.
16-year-old defenseman in the CHL in 55 games. He scored 61 points, This kid is on pace to be the next generational prospect that anyone's ever seen. Mind you, he's had more points per game at 16 since Scott Niedermeyer. That was back in the 90s, early 90s, late 80s. He's incredible, man. This kid is on fire. I got to shout out a fellow Dupont anytime I can. Not a lot of Duponts out there except on the NASCAR. But, man, that kid has been unbelievable to watch. I never really sit down and watch tape like that for hockey. This kid caught my attention. Shout out to Landon Dupont, bro. You're going to do big things.
All right. With those expectations that his possibly family from mom or dad's side, Nick Dupont.
I don't give a I'm going to show up to a random game and be like, oh,
he's gonna be his number one cheerleader. I like that.
1,000%. 1,000%.
Like
that kid goes to the Panthers. Oh, it's over.
Guys, for next episode, let's also give our predictions for the women's side.
Okay.
Yeah, do your bracket. We'll do it for next episode. And we got a lot of topics to talk about. It's gonna be a long weekend, so have a great one, Nick and Anthony. We'll see you guys next episode.
Bam says bye.